welcome to this video tutorial for understanding what type of cameras you have. In another video, we'll talk about some best practices for how to screen share between these two cameras. So, first, let's talk about the back camera. So as you can see, this is a camera from the back of the room looking towards the front. Its default is to track you wherever you go. And so this can be particularly useful for those of you who like to wander around the classroom like myself. If the camera is not tracking properly or it is stuck on one particular place, please refer to the tutorial for how to use remote control to fix that. The other camera that we have is the front camera. This is in the front of the room and it looks at the students. It is by default going to be static, so it's not going to track, it's not going to move around. If it's not looking at what it should be looking at, or if it is moving around, again, please refer to the tutorial for how to use the remote control. The other camera that we have is the document camera. If you want to use that document camera, make sure you turn it on before instruction begins. It takes a minute or two to warm up. When you do want to switch over to the document camera, as you can see, it takes a few seconds to switch over. This is great if you want to write certain things for students to see, and you're not really confident in the ability for students in the back of the room to see what you're writing on the chalkboard. Now, very important, you write on paper. Never write on the document camera itself. The other camera option that you will see is an integrated webcam. This is the camera that comes with the podium computer, but you typically do not want to use that. That is a camera that is part of the podium computer and just looks directly at whoever is standing at the podium itself. But for flex slide instruction, typically that's not where you're going to be the whole time. So let's go back to the back camera. In future videos, I'm going to talk about how to do really cool screen sharing and showing more than one view at a time. But one thing I do want to also get into is to see how it's a little distracting to see me and then also these mirror images of me. So what I recommend you do for Flex Live instruction is to click on View and then click on Hide Self View. So now all we can see is this stand-in for a Zoom student. This is my trusty water bottle. I pretend it's a student. So from the perspective of people who are in person, you the instructor and in-person students, all they will see on the projector screen right now is Zoom students who are tuning in. However, from the perspective of the Zoom students, they will still see you walking around the classroom. So that is to say, when you hide the self view, you do not hide yourself from Zoom students. They will still see you just fine. Now, when you do select hide self view, this means no matter what camera you select, the in-person students aren't going to be able to see it. So I've selected a front camera, but in-person students and yourself can't tell. All we see is exactly what you see on the screen here. However, from the perspective of the Zoom students, now they're going to see the students who are tuning in, but they'll also be able to see their fellow Zoom students. And just to prove you that say it's true, see they can see it. A final thing I'll say is when it comes to hiding self-view, if you do want to use the document camera, you need to not activate the hide self-view, because remember, the hide self-view is going to hide whatever type of camera you're trying to show. So if I select hide self-view, well now I can't see that for this particular case. Okay, that concludes this overview of the various video options that we have. Again, in a future video, I will show you how to do different types of screen sharing.